Prosperity is a herbal remedy that has been naturally designed to nourish the prostate gland. Prosperity uses a combination of leaves, roots, and barks to create a tincture designed to nourish your prostate gland. It also will assist in prostate-related issues such as erectile dysfunction, swollen prostates, and problems related to the passage of urine. Call or WhatsApp 728-8289, 728-8289 and get your bottle today. Prosperity. Yes, royal family. As always, you know we glorify the life giver and the keeper of life. Welcome to another edition of the Tiger's Nest. Hey, this is Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. Haile Selassie the First is exalted. Once again, we say blessed love to the full international community. Once again, I welcome you to the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And of course, this is Radio Anu once again. We're talking about revolutionary radio. Hey, give thanks for the Naya Bingi drum sound stalking through the earth. Just keeping the heavens up. Just keeping the love alive. Enough man say they're burning reggae and they're still not even rocking a Naya Bingi. Hey, it's a tiger's nest, yo. Hey, once you're here, family, just share the link and let everybody know that you're listening to Radio Anu. In fact, at this moment, I know we are premiering this program on the YouTube. So I'm going to invite each and everyone to do the same. Share the link. And of course, give the video some of them thumbs up. Hey, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you on a wonderful evening. Definitely, this is a program that comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening. 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, Eastern Standard Time, at least at this time. And of course, you know, this program is rebroadcasted. Let me be clear here. You're going to hear it repeated every morning after the program, the evening before. So in other words, in the rising, in the morning, as they call it, you won't be morning at all because you'll be listening to us. It's up, ra, I sing, grand uprising, ra, I sing, you know, ra, rising, ra is singing. So 7 a.m. in the up, ra, I sing, in the so-called morning, you can listen to this program again right here on Radio Anu. Of course, you know, we're touching the full international community. Hey, let me just say blessed love to all our brothers and sisters in Kenya. And we're very happy that, you know, many ones would have, you know, appreciated or appreciate love, as we say, the programs that we did previous night and the program that we did the night before. Oh, last night's program, previous night's program was so wonderful. In fact, I am going to revisit a bit of it right now before we go into the subject for the evening. Naya Bingi drum sound. And I am positive, as I would have said several times, there is no one drum like the Nyabingi Kete drum, you know, with the different variations of sounds and melody that it creates, depending on the harper, of course, depending on the player. You know, many drums, I mean, you could begin with your regular stage drum. Yeah, it has a lot of different, you know, ups and downs. Yeah. And then you have a lot of different types of African drums in the Western world, your djembe and all of these different drums, even the funde and the bass.
But you see the kete. There's something about the kete. Depending on the player again. The variety of shots, we call them shots, because the Nyabingi order is an assassination order. We come to cramp the wicked. So it's shots we are firing. So when you hear pop, pop, da 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 da, and that's one player playing there, you know. In fact, you could see where my mind is. Obviously, if I was behind the kete, these are the shots you'll be getting. So this is just from my observation. I haven't seen or heard a drum sound that, you know, to me would have that variety of shots like the kete. Listen good. And then any moment now he's going to change. Listen to this. Nice. It's all therapeutic, family. It's all therapeutic. You got to keep in mind, remember that music is mathematics. Remember that music is geometry. In the same way that they want to separate mathematics and separate geometry from music, it is actually mission impossible, you know. So we give thanks again for the drum sound. We give thanks for, again, the maths. We give thanks for the geometry, because maths really means knowledge, you know, and that's really what it's all about. Hey, so once again, family, give thanks for your presence with us. We have a wonderful evening's program in store for you. As I said, we are premiering at the moment to the YouTube. So just advising all the YouTube fans, this program is being streamed from Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. The full Tiger's Nest program will not be broadcasted on the YouTube this evening, but of course you know what to do. The link is in the description below the video. So all you have to do, you don't even have to wait. You can just go now and press the link and join us on Radio Anu, so you don't have to move again, because we're going to go through the whole program obviously on Radio Anu, but we will not be broadcasting the full program on the YouTube. Hey, but give thanks for your presence. Let me just remind you, Patrons Day is at hand. And this year, Patrons Day is going to be the 5th of November. As always, you know, this is our 3rd Patrons Day. And this is the establishment of Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. So, of course, you know, every 3rd of November is when we really do our Patrons Day. That is the coronation day of who? Who? The 3rd of November is the coronation day of Menelik II. So on the 3rd of November, we celebrate the official relaunching of the new Radio Anu. That's international flavor, the universal spice. And of course, we are also celebrating the coronation of Haile Selassie I. And yes, Menelik II. Beautiful vibrations all around. So remember, this is an all-day event. It begins like from midnight. So whenever the 5th of November begins in this sort of system, which is midnight, that's when we begin. And it's Nyabingi stalking through the evening, just Nyabingi drum sounds, keeping the energy strong. And then, of course, when the sun begins to rise, in a sense, we officially begin Patreon's Day. And as always, we're going to have some beautiful speakers with us. We're going to have prizes and surprises. We're going to have some wonderful lectures, you know, and remember, everything is Radio Anu. It's all about Radio Anu. So make sure you are in tune. All right, as time gets closer, I will definitely keep you a bit more informed. Beautiful. Now, as I said, previous night, we had a wonderful program. And before we go into the program tonight, because of course, as I promised you, we're going to be talking about Western feminism and the African woman. Listen, this is going to be serious, but really, previous night, what people call last night, we were listening to Sister Dr. Wanjiru Kamau, and she was speaking basically her life experience in the hills of Kenya. She was speaking of the rise of the Mau Mau. What a beautiful discussion that was, family. How many of you got that? In fact, you know what I'm going to do? This evening, at the end of the Tiger's Nest, we're going to replay previous night's program. How that sound? We can do that? Yeah, okay. I got the word. We definitely gonna replay the program from previous night. You understand? So those of you who missed it, you're gonna get it again. Those of you who got it, trust me, I know you'd want to take that in. And she went into the depths of so many things she spoke of. We learned from her. Well, we knew this, but you know, we had an eyewitness account. She clearly showed us that she never grew up hearing about any black man raping a black woman. She's talking about 1956, 58. That's not when she was born, but when the experience came to life. You know, the British came in, the colonialists, and then the Mau Mau rebellion began, you know, somewhere 40s, 50s. So she's giving you her experience. And she's explaining to you that she saw everything. She saw everything. She saw when the crackers came, and she saw how they dealt with their women. She clearly explained to you that black people never rape no white, no black people. No black man is raping no black woman. It is the British that came in and started that custom. Man, you heard us say so. That's a doctor, a psychologist, a respected woman in the Kenyan society. She ain't gonna come and lie to us. She went as far as to explain that the Kenyan man, the Kikuyu man, never laid his hand or would beat or rough up his wife. And if that is done today, it is because of what we were trained to do by the Europeans. She even went, I mean, this is serious, family. This is serious. She went as far as to show us how dangerous rum is. And I'm telling you, King Emmanuel teach us that rum cut the heartstring. You may be looking for some kind of vein, you know, that a scissors will come and cut. It could be all of that too. But the heart chakra, the energy of love is totally gone when a person becomes intoxicated, drunk with rum and whiskey and all of this stuff. And she explained, yes, as Africans, we had strong drinks. We are the inventors of roots. But this kind of stuff that they brought to us, and they didn't drink their stuff, you know, in a spiritual way. Because you see Africans use liquor in spiritual rituals. They do drink too, you know, man. Don't get me wrong. Even before the British came, their own concoctions. And it would get you somewhat tipsy. Not only tipsy, it could carry you into the spirit world. So we're not going to pretend here. But the custom wasn't the custom of Europe. They didn't just come in after dinner, they got drunk and then go and beat and rape their wives. That was not our custom. And she made that plain. And I know previous night, I know I got a bit heated, but I have to. Some of you cowards, when you hear this kind of truth, some of you, those of you who like to make excuse for the cracker. Oh, Africans sold Africans into slavery, them kind of people there. Even just me saying cracker, they have a whole heap of Negroes upset. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the colonialists that came in and raped our mother. What do you want me to call them? In fact, I went for the nicest term I could find. What's wrong with you? As I said last night, it seems like we have some black crackers now. A cracker is the one that comes with the whip, yo, and beats us on our back. Imagine that white people that vex with me for saying that. Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice. Who is you? Listen, be careful, eh? Who is you? Are you a cracker? You see, you got to know yourself. So if I say them dirty bums and you know you're a bum, trying to pretend you're not, you will be offended. That's what Malcolm says. Throw the stone in a pack of dogs, and the dog that ho, ho, ho is the dog that gets hit. We have that same phrase around here, but somehow we throw the stone in the pack of pigs or something, and the pig that squeal. Yeah. So you don't have to be offended. Them is demons that came in and taught us to take Coca-Cola bottles and shove it up our women's yoni. You heard Dr. Wanjiru last night clearly explaining how the British would come and literally teach the African rifles how to do that, and then give them a heap of rum and drunk them off. Rum. That has been an impediment in the social fabric of Black people, even here in the Caribbean, carried so far back beyond where we belong. They love to get drunk around here. Montserrat, Barbuda, they love to get drunk around here. St. Lucia, they love to get drunk around here. Where did you learn that from? And some of you upset. This is not me speaking, you know. This is our elder. Some of you make too much excuses. But anyway, give thanks. I know we started a bit heated tonight, but to be honest, that's how it is. But anyway, family, that is not really the subject this evening. So I want to get into the subject in a few moments. But what I'm going to do, let's listen to a bit of our mother, Dr. Wanjiru Kamau, and a bit of her account from previous night. Obviously, I can't give you that whole hour-and-a-half program. But I promise you, after this program, we will repeat it. All right, let's take in a bit of this.
Because there was that whole thing of circumcision. I tell you, if I had a way of just saying nobody should be circumcised in the hospital. Circumcision for both men and women. And I know that will shock you. I don't want to go further, but I do support them. Because it's not really about the cut. Forget about the cut. It's the psychological part that followed, that made you swear that you will never hurt a woman, that you will never hurt another person that is a part of you. Anyway, the trauma of a man not being able to protect his wife, his children, his grandmother, his whoever, was great. Resilience is what came automatically, particularly from our culture. Because our culture, one of the characters that we emphasize is courage. Courage, whether you are taking your dead mother, like me, your dead father, you cannot allow yourself to collapse. And there are a lot of proverbs that sustained people. I would say that is what sustained people, that we know. We are dying because of our soil. Yeah, let me die. Let me die, and I'll never tell these strangers anything about the oath. I will die for what I believe in. Again, integrity. I would say integrity and the courage what our people had, and really I cry very often when I'm talking about that, because integrity is what our people knew. And I think that is what provided the resilience that enabled us to cancel ourselves from internal. Because we cannot let go. We have to survive. Crying, as you know, has never been encouraged among the Kikuyu. But that came as a confusion later on. So having not received that counseling, and then having the cultural breakdowns with the Christianity of what, I would say, then we started copying drinking. The Kikuyu drinking was only ceremonial. When a baby has been born, when there is a wedding, celebratio, you all know that word, you know, where you are paying dowry or wherever that exchange.
Listen.
And when there was not this drinking. And I would say the consequence of that trauma, andu makiambiriria kunywa njohi uria yanyuagwo ni muthungu na tukiona hi ni mukenu uria njugire kuria tone mamwonirie akinywa njohi. Every time there is any celebration or there is cause, you relax with a beer. Excessively, you know, that they became drunkards. And it was not only men, even women realized. 1956 really is where this whole thing is. So now, apart from you have all been killed, some people have been...
1956, and she talking about. Okay, 1950 yesterday, okay.
Killed, remember, what was it called? Warari, Muito Warari. You know, so many died. And by the way, they are my husband's relatives, actually, those where it happened. So you are hearing of all this death. You are seeing people at Tumia Magekiro bottles. But I remember that used to be a huge bottle of Coca-Cola, which was not plastic, but
spoken her language, the Kikuyu language, woman being inserted with bottles. Women being inserted with bottles. Listen to her.
All this death, you are seeing people at Tumia Magekiro bottles. But I remember that used to be a huge bottle of Coca-Cola, which was not plastic, but actually glass, being put in private parts of a woman. My own.
So Coca-Cola bottles, the glass. See, they like to talk about women have Coca-Cola shape. They take the Coca-Cola bottles. Now, even before she said this, I've been to conferences where people from where that was, I think that was the Congo, and you would get some graphic descriptions of what the rebel soldiers would do to their sisters. Not their mother's child, but I mean, a black man and a black woman, that's your sister. And they would take the same Coca-Cola bottle, canal. They would light a fire and have the logwood burning, and they shove that up in her canal too. I'm talking black people doing this to black people. That's the truth. But according to our elders, we never did that until the British came. And I mean, just meditate on that. And it didn't happen overnight. It took at least a good half a generation to season the little ones into this foolishness. Whether by threat, because they know it's threat of life. If you don't rape your own sister, we'll kill you. And it just morphed into that. That's how we became Christians, you know. I'm not talking about the Ethiopian Christianity. That's how we became Methodists. We dissed the method. That's how we became Wesleyan, whoever he is. That's how we became Anglicans, Anglo-Saxon. Oh my, imagine we became Roman Catholics. Nobody came and let's make a deal. It's either we took that foolishness up or they would kill us. Our own mothers would tell us, hey, you see what they do to your pappy? They burn him alive at the stake. You better say, gentle Jesus, meek and mild. Mary had a little lamb and all of that crap. That's how we came to be who we are today. Methodically implemented. Hear what the sister said.
being put it was not plastic, but actually glass being put in private parts of a woman. My own relative in Deya, that was done to her. And these Johnnies, they were called Johnnies, the British young people who were all released here.
Johnnies, the British Johnnies. That's why not into no Johnny cake, you know. Up to fried dumpling, they call it Johnny cake. These Johnnies. Anyway, family, we did this program previous night. And let me just say here, if you are not a subscriber to the Tiger's Nest, it's a very simple thing to do. All you have to do is contact us. Those of you who are already on radio and you are on the website, so it's right there in front of you. Just look for it and you could subscribe. And when you become a subscriber to the Tiger's Nest radio program, that means you'll never, ever miss another episode again. So those of you who missed the previous night episode, you would have already received that in your inbox this morning. You know, those of you who will not be able to listen to it tonight, because we are going to rebroadcast it. Hey, once you become a subscriber, you never miss these programs. You understand? As I said, in a few minutes, we're going to be sealing up the premiere on the YouTube. So for those of you who want the rest of the program, well, you know, you're going to have to press the link in the description below, which is a very simple thing to do, and join us here on Radio Anu for the continuation of this program. So that was a beautiful reasoning, and I really hope that you take the time tonight to, you know, listen to it. Trust me, if you missed it, it's worth it. After you listen to this tonight, and this is going to be a bomber right now, because right now we're going to hear from another powerful woman. You understand? And as you could see, this strong, the energy is African to the point that, you know, as I said, the first program for the strong was Mount Kenya and the tablets, and that we just went straight into the Mau Mau and the link with Rastafari. Hey, you got to listen to the whole program. And now tonight we want to highlight Elma Akob. Many of you would have heard of this sister from the University of South Africa there, Pretoria, from the University of Pretoria. And she will be speaking of not just Western feminism, you know, the dangers of Western feminism. I mean, to be honest, this is one of the low-hanging fruits that if we can't get this straight, I don't know what else we're going to get straight. That feminism, I know we want to culturalize the term now. Feminism, Western or whatever, feminism has nothing to do with Black people. Only if Black people take it up, whether you're a man or a woman, because they have male feminists too. You understand? I don't mean homosexuals, you know, but then again, and you see, this is why language is so key. I doubt they have a word for feminism in any African term because it's not a real thing. We surely don't have no word for homosexuality, not unless they just invented it. As Brother Patrick Lumumba was saying last night again, previous night, what is the African word for democracy? And he called several African languages and he's saying, I can't find no word for democracy. Interesting, eh? So we got to be careful. And those of us who like to, you know, make excuses for the hyena, we got to check ourselves. I'm talking about 1956. That is just yesterday. And we have people alive that can tell you that they come from a part of the earth where we have a history 3 million years old. And none of us ever beat our woman until the Europeans arrived. Now, I know somebody's going to jump up again. Oh, come on, you don't believe all the 3 million years. I know you're going to be very, you know, you're going to kind of draw it all the way out. I know that. Yeah, I know that. I know that. You get my point. Don't try to pretend. You get my point. That is not our culture. We don't beat our women. We surely don't rape our women. Not only were we trained to do that by someone else, but all of that is a part of the enslavement process. Yeah, family, give thanks. So what we're going to do now, as I said, we're going to go into the heart of the discussion this evening. I know we're going to seal off the YouTube right now. So all of those who are watching on the YouTube, all you have to do is to go below this video and press the link that is in the description, and it will take you straight to Radio Anu. All you sisters, call your sister friends. You need to hear this one here tonight, because we need to rise the sisters. Some of these brothers out here, I see we're not even thinking about our sisters. We don't even think about our children. We just like to show how much hair we have on our chests and who is the best debater, and all your information is wrong, and this and that, and oh, blah, 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 blah. What about nurturing our sisters? Eh? How many of you fellas have that in your mind? Nurturing the woman, rising the Amazon warriors, warriors, to join us on the battlefield. Enough of them women that on the battlefield with us, they come by themselves. Eh? Most of us, we never bring none of them. Who, us? We just like to talk culture. Oh, we as brothers, we like to talk culture. We like to speak African pride. Yeah. But we're the same brothers that we don't even think twice to deal with a sister who is totally off the grid. Her pum-pum shorts, her belly out, her ring in her navel. I'm not condemning her. I speak to these people all the time. But some of us, we are very hypocritical. We come and talk a lot of talk. But then when it comes to the real living, we not ready for that yet. We still caught up in the lower selves. I'm being real with you people, eh? We're still caught up in the lower selves. So we need to check that. And that's where we're going this evening. So yeah, a lot of fellas might be afraid now and say, hey, I ain't going there. I'm going to do something else. But sisters, share the link. Press the link in the description below. And I'm inviting everyone to join us right now as we head over officially, those of you on the YouTube, to Radio Anu. Remember, we are already here on Radio Anu, eh? The international flavor, the universal spice. Beautiful. Hey, give thanks. Press the link below the video.
When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black and the green around me. For in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessing to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there's a storm. Look for me all around you. For with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black